So check this wing out. I just did the 0 to 500 method on it, my pellet smoker, and boy, it looks really good, and it's not rubbery. You see, it's almost like crispy there. I don't know if you could hear that, but when I bit into it, it had a little bit of a crunch. That is perfect for chicken wings. Today, I'm going to do a little bit of a test. I read online that this was a really good method to get crispy wings, and I've done something similar to this, but not exactly. So let's go ahead and we're going to do what I call a 0 to 500 on the pellet grill. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And I'm going to set it up to 500 degrees. And actually, since this one runs just a touch hot, I think what I'll do is I'll put it at 480 and let it go there. So the goal is as soon as this thing starts to fire off, we're going to get it going all the way up to 500. And when it gets up to that 500 degrees, it should be ready to go. So let's go ahead and check the pellets because I did not refill them after the last go. And there's enough to get started, and that's about it. Here I have the chicken wings already pre-seasoned and laid out. Let me get a little closer to you so you can get a good look at those. And this was just a big value pack that I bought from the local grocery store. I'm going to go ahead and set those on there because I want them to get that kiss of smoke that's coming off from the pre-light. What I use to season them is one of my favorite poultry seasonings, which is Kosmos Dirty Bird. Kosmos Dirty Bird and Kosmos Cow Cover, both really solid seasonings. They make a lot of other good ones too. These are just my two favorites. Now we're waiting for that solid, consistent roar, and the fan is blowing well, but I don't think that we have full ignition yet. Now after you load these on there, if you feel like that they need just a little more seasoning, now is a good time to do that. I'm gonna pull these back out and I'm just gonna sprinkle them with a little bit more. I toss them in the bowl. And I did add just a touch of garlic because I like to add a little bit of extra garlic, especially to my pork, but also my chicken. We're starting to get that consistent roar now. I think she's lit. Go ahead and close that. Gonna go ahead and open this up. And I know you can't see in there, but I'm gonna put some more pellets in there. I bought some Pit Boss at my local super center, and they're just a run-of-the-mill type pellet, if you ask me. But I think most of the pellets are really similar. I have to say that I have done side-by-side tests before, and it's really hard to tell the difference from one pellet to the next. So it makes me wonder whether or not there's one company just shooting out a bunch of pellets and putting it in different bags. Now, I'm sure you'll find one or two companies that are doing their own thing, but I would say probably most of the companies are just using one major manufacturer. Now, this is mesquite blend, and I really like the strong flavors, especially for short cooks. And since this is going to be a short cook, and also pellet smokers in general, I like stronger flavors than what people say because they do have a little bit less smoke, mostly because they burn so clean, which is great, but we want to add that smoky flavor. And that's another reason why I like to add this in the 0 to 500 method, because at the beginning you get a little bit more smoke and it kind of gets on your wings, so that way it'll cook in. I'm going to add a little bit more. So we are coming up on fall here, and where I live on the creek, it gets really humid. So I need to find two solutions. One is I need to make sure that I run this thing empty pretty soon from now on, because there'll be a lot of humidity and that could cause a problem. I have actually had them expand inside the auger and jam the auger before on a different smoker. Now that wasn't this smoker, so I don't know if that's the case, but one nice thing about this one is it has the dump chute on the back, so you can get most of the pellets out, and then you can just burn through what's left as like a final cleaning, which is a good thing. You turn it up all the way and let it just shoot through all those pellets, and then you'll heat that thing off. Now, as far as the bag goes, I just tape it up, but you can buy containers or you can get those airtight seal containers like Sterilite or something like that. That'll make a great place to keep these if you're gonna leave them outdoors, or just throw them inside the garage near the warmest section, like next to your refrigerator, your water heater, or even in the utility closet inside the house, so that way they stay nice and dry and don't get any humidity in them. So I think I've loaded up enough here for this cook, and again, it's gonna run at full power, and we're gonna let it go ahead and go. I'm just gonna sit here and keep an eye on it. We are definitely ignited, but we are only at 89. It is kind of a cool day outside. It was clear and cool most of the day, and because of the time of year, we've really started to ramp down the temperature. So I'm gonna babysit this, and then when it's time to flip them, I'll be back. That'll be 1 second for you. So I promised you I'd be back in 1 second, and here I am, but it's been 30 minutes for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. We're at 435 degrees. And that looks really nice. I'm gonna flip these over. I'm gonna tell you that I am wearing the heavy duty 10 mil gloves. And since I started wearing these things, I gotta tell you that I love them. They're great for cooking, and they're great for cleaning fish. Still gets a little warm, but I gotta say that the extra little thickness just takes the edge off. And again, I can handle pretty much very hot food, but in a 435 degree smoker, that's really hot food. So I was able to navigate it with these gloves. So I don't know how good of a look you got there. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this back open really quick, and we'll take a look on the close-up cam here. And it's looking really good. It's got some nice color. This piece here looks like it's escaped. We're gonna give it a little taste. That's really good. It's kind of a small piece with a lot of seasoning, a little bit of a saltiness to it, more than I would normally put on. But I think for you or for my wife, it'll be just perfect. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna temp check it. And what I'm using today is this Alpha Grillers Instant Read Thermometer. And it says it's 72 degrees right where I'm standing, probably because I'm so close to the smoker. So it does not flip over, so I'm gonna do it upside down like this so we can get a look at it. And pop it into one of the larger pieces. That back one is one of the largest ones, but all right, 140 degrees. And you do need to make sure you get it right in the middle of the chicken wing, because it's really easy to get too close to the edge and get a false reading. So if the edge is say 160, but the middle is 130, that's not good. So looks really good so far. I think we got 15 minutes and these will be done. Let's go ahead and take another break. I'll see you in 1 second. So I'm back, and it's been about 12 minutes. And about 7 minutes ago, I went ahead and turned the pellet smoker off, and it used the remaining pellets that it had in it and shut down in the shutdown sequence, because it looked like to me that we were close enough to done that if I kept going, it was going to be overdone. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. Now check out that close-up cam, and you can see that there's a lot of nice color on these. And I'm going to grab this small one and close these in here so they stay warm. I put the plate on here and it warmed up quite well. Now I'm going to go ahead and hold it up here, and there is definitely a little bit of a crisp on there. It is not rubbery. And like I said, there's a little bit of color on there. Now I'm going to go ahead and wait about 2 minutes So I'll take a 2-minute break and then I'll be right back. So hang tight and then we'll sample these. So I've given my chicken wing a little bit of time to cool off and I think it's ready to eat. So I'm going to go ahead and get a bite of that. That is really good. What I really like is we don't have the rubbery skin. We've got a little bit of a grilled consistency skin. So it's not, like I said, mushy or rubbery like you would get on a normal smoker. By turning the temperature up so much, it really dried that skin out and got it a little crispy around the edges. Again, there's a lot of color there, but most of that's just the seasoning. It's not burned or anything. And I really, really like this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this and take it in the house and set it in the oven while I get the rest of dinner ready. And I think you should give this a try. That is called the 0 to 500 method for your chicken wings. And it works good for drumsticks. And also, it probably worked great for thighs. That's my favorite piece of chicken. So that's probably what I'm going to try next. But we're just going to make that for dinner for me and my wife. So that'll be a private thing. I hope you enjoyed this one. Try this with your favorite chicken seasoning. If you don't have one, the Kosmos Dirty Bird is in the affiliate link section below. And if you do buy one of those and use that link, it will support the channel. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.